please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Thank you so much for joining us on What's Hot. I'm Kritika Saxena. Here are the top 5 stories that we are tracking for you this Monday evening. Markets slide to their lowest level this year. Nifty sheds over 100 points to slip below its 200-day moving average. Sensex tumbles over 250 points. Mid-caps get battered. Banks Board Bureau hits out at the government, says that we have been reduced to an appointment body, adds that government is yet to respond on key recommendations made over the last 2 years, seeks clarity, future role and relevance of the Banks Bureau. Ultratech re-enters the race for Banali Cement, proposes to acquire the stress company and says will provide over 7,200 crore rupees to help Banani pay off its lenders. A federal front is in the making, says TRS Chief K. Chandrasekhar Rao after meeting Mamata Banerjee in Kolkata. Both leaders say the country needs an alternative. Congress government in Karnataka grants separate religion status to the Lingayat community subject to approval from the state. From the centre, the move comes just weeks before the state goes to polls. Lots of action over the next 30 minutes, but first let's start with the market action of the day. The bears continue to make merry on the Lal Street as indices hit the lowest level this year. The Nifty opened lower, continued to trend lower, and a sharp dip was seen in the last hour, which pushed the Nifty to below the 10,100 mark. The Sensex breached the 33,000 marks with cuts of over 250 points. The mid-caps also underperformed, with that index losing about 300 points. Banks, though, ended just 1% in the red. So bears clearly on a strong foot, but the other big story from North Block, the Vinod Rai headed Bank Board Bureau, which is completing 2 years on the 1st of April, will see clarity on its future. The Bureau has asked for a proper mandate on PSU banks reform from the government. The advisory body has in fact put together a list of the recommendations it has made to the Finance Ministry in the last 2 years, but it says that the government has not responded on most of them. Sapna Das is here with the details. Sapna, what exactly is there in that letter that has been given to the government by the Banks Board Bureau, and what are the grievances that have been addressed?
Clearly, the Bank Board Bureau is completing 2 years being in office sometime in the month of April. So keeping that context in mind, this is a list of recommendations that they have been making to the government over the last 2 years. It's a compendium of the same. And there is a very clear-cut pitch in terms of asking the government what is going to be the future roadmap, or rather the role of the Bank Board Bureau in the times to come. Because, they have very clearly said in the report that they seem to have been relegated or reduced to an appointment body. And that's probably not what they had in mind. Apart from this, they have also observed on the fact that even in terms of the public sector bank recapitalization plan, as well as the asset resolution process, the Bank Board Bureau has not really been involved by the government. In fact, way back in 2016, the government had clearly rejected one of the proposals of the Bank Board Bureau in terms of participation in the asset resolution process. The Bureau at that point in time had also suggested a transition for transferring the government shareholding in public sector banks into a bank holding company. So all of that had already been shot down by the government way back in November 2016. What beyond? So here clearly they're trying to make a pitch that they would like to participate further in terms of the PSB reforms, in terms of the public sector bank consolidation process, what needs to be done in terms of IDBI, the articles of ownership. Probably there needs to be some tweaking in that. So a couple of suggestions that they have put out. But clearly the indications here from North Block are that basically the Bank Board Bureau has the role that it has been given, and probably the government is not really looking at anything beyond that. But the Bank Board Bureau has made its point, and we have to wait and watch and see what really happens. But as I just indicated, very unlikely that there will be any further change in terms of the role that has already been assigned to the BBB.
Okay, let's see if there is any change at all over the course of the days and if that letter actually helps. Thanks, Sapna, for taking us through that. Now, here's the big story, the IBC issue. And this is an interesting development in the bid to acquire Banali Cement. The Ultratech Cement Board has approved funds worth 7,266 crore rupees to be precise to Banali Cement's parent company to pay lenders and other liabilities. Now, Ultratech will now issue a comfort letter to Banali Industries to terminate the insolvency and bankruptcy court proceedings and to hopefully acquire 98.47% stake in Banali Cement consequently. Now, Ultratech's takeover, though, is not certain, and the final call, of course, will lie with the NCLT. Last week, Ultratech Cement had alleged lack of transparency in the NCLT proceedings to auction Banali Cement. In a setback for the Aditya Birla Group company, the Committee of Creditors, or the COC, had approved the plan presented by Dalmia Cement to acquire Banani. We spoke to Sameer Khaji, the senior advisor at Banani Industries, about the insolvency proceedings, and here's exactly what he had to say.
We feel the value has been underplayed. Information sharing by the RP, transparency, which we felt was lacking. And we are not certain what are the main contents of the bid. We are in the process of working out the arrangement, and the ultimate ownership of the asset will then move to Ultratech. Being an evolving process, there is no precedent as of now. But if you are meeting all your liabilities, I feel this could become a precedent.
Okay, now customers were left in the lurch after thousands of Ola and Uber drivers across the country took to the streets protesting against cab aggregators' unfair policies and low-fare bookings. Now, against these demands, Uber India says that they have been listening to driver partners and are committed to ensuring that Uber remains an attractive entrepreneurial opportunity. Ola, on its part, says that the authorities are taking any necessary steps to ensure safety of commuters given this very backdrop. CNBC TV18's Priya Sheth caught up with a couple of drivers in Mumbai on this very issue.
Ola Uber! Hi, hi. Ola Uber! Hi, hi.
Driving for cab aggregators like Ola and Uber seemed lucrative a couple of years ago. Flush with funds, these cab aggregators incentivize drivers with several benefits.
मेरे को 17,000 पगार थी, लेकिन मेरे को जब इनका मैसेज मिला कि खुद की गाड़ी का मालिक बनिए, आप इतना कमा सकते हैं, तो मैं लालच के मारे वहाँ की नौकरी भी चली गई और मैं इधर आ गया।
मार्केटिंग में काम करता था मैं, मुझे ऑफ़र आया, मैसेज आया कि आप अपनी गाड़ी डालिए, हम आपको इतना देंगे। उन्होंने हमसे वादा किया था लगभग हम आपको 1 लाख रुपए का पैकेज देंगे, आप 1 लाख रुपए कमा सकेंगे। तो हम इस बिना पर हम अपने जॉब्स को छोड़ कर आए, हमने अपना इन्वेस्ट किया, लेकिन आज यह हालत में है कि हम बचाने के तो दूर हम गाड़ी की ईएमआई नहीं निकाल पा रहे हैं।
In a bid to reduce cash burn and improve focus on profitability as well as margins, these cab aggregators seem to have reduced driver incentives, leading to worsening of driver finances.
जो जिस प्रकार से हम लोगों को ये दिया जा रहा है, किलोमीटर का रेट दिया जा रहा है, वो बहुत ही कम है और वो हम लोगों के लिए ठीक नहीं है, हमारे बच्चों के लिए ठीक नहीं है। मैडम, आज गए 3 महीने से मैंने मेरे स्कूल के बच्चों के फीस नहीं भरे हैं, घर का रेंट नहीं भरा है मैडम, घर में खाने को तक का पैसा नहीं है, और ईएमआई का पैसा तो बहुत निकलना मुश्किल हो गया।
पहले जब जुड़ा था तो अपना घर खर्चा भी चल जाता था, लेकिन आज ये हालात है कि हम घर खर्चा तो छोड़िए, अपने बच्चों की दवाई तक का पैसा नहीं बचा सकते।
To address these concerns, drivers have raised several issues with regards to low fare bookings, increased driver incentives, as well as assurance on drivers' monthly payouts.
बाकी टाइम से लेके ये टाइम का जो माहौल है वो आपको पता है कि करीबन 99% गाड़ी रास्ते पे नहीं है। जो भी चल रही है उनकी खुद की गाड़ी चल रही है, ड्राइवर के ऊपर ज़बरदस्ती हो रही है। तो मेरा कहना वो है कि जो आंदोलन महाराष्ट्र नवनिर्माण सेना की तरफ से हो रहा है, उनको भी पूरी भरोसा और हमें भी पूरी आशा है कि सरकार इस बात के लिए कुछ ना कुछ रास्ता निकाले और इन लोगों की समस्या का हल करें।
This is not the first time that drivers are protesting. The lack of success in the past may have been a dampener for a few, but the hope of resolution will perhaps keep them going. In Mumbai, Priya Sheth.
Back now, we are 11 days into the second leg of the budget session, and not one, not two, but all 11 days have been a washout so far. Outside Parliament, it has been a day of rapid political development. So let me walk you through them one by one. Hard drama in the Lok Sabha as the Telugu Desam Party and YSR Congress tried to move a no-confidence motion against the government. But the motion could not be taken up. If there is a trust vote, the BJP should sail through in all likelihood, as NDA allies Shiv Sena and Akali Dal have hinted that they would close ranks.
नो कॉन्फिडेंस मोशन इस वक्त एक इमैच्योर्ड मूव है, ऐसा हमें भी लगता है। इस देश में और भी ऐसे मुद्दे हैं, राष्ट्रीय मुद्दे हैं, नेशनल इश्यूज है, नोटबंदी से लेकर भ्रष्टाचार तक। ये सभी का कारण भी अविश्वास ठहराव या नो कॉन्फिडेंस मोशन बन सकता है, लेकिन तेलुगु देशम अपने स्टेट का इशू लेकर सामने आई है। लेकिन मैं उनका भी स्वागत करता हूं, उनका स्टेट का इशू है, लेकिन इस वक्त शिवसेना ने कोई निर्णय नहीं लिया है।
पार्लियामेंट में हमारे पास पर्याप्त संख्या का बल है, हम किसी प्रकार के इस प्रकार का अविश्वास के प्रस्ताव का बिल्कुल हिम्मत से सामना करेंगे। पर बात यह है कि जो दल वर्षों से हमारे साथ रहा है, आज अचानक एक सेंटिमेंटल इशू को लेकर हमारे ऊपर अविश्वास का प्रस्ताव लाए, इसके पीछे बिल्कुल राजनीति है और सच्चे विकास का उद्देश्य से ये विषय लाया नहीं गया है।
Now, around 1,500 kilometers away from Delhi, two regional heavyweights have sown the seeds for what they are calling a federal front. Telangana Chief Minister and TRS Chief K. Chandrasekhar Rao met Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee in Kolkata. After the meeting, KCR with Didi by her side said, and I quote now, "Our front will be a bigger front, which will be different from the routine model. There is a need for political alternatives and the country needs a change."
It's not mere aligning 1 to 3 political parties. It is unifying the masses of India, the people of India. We fully understand well that there is a great deal of need in this country for a qualitative change. We need to leverage our country like the East Asian tigers, like China, like so many other economic models.
We have started the dialogue. Let the Honorable Chief Minister also, the K. Raoji and others also to talk each other. Automatically the एक साथ में सब आ जाएंगे। Federal front, of course, we want that federal front should be strong. If the states are strong, always the center means strong.
Now, from Kolkata to Bengaluru, the Siddaramaiah-led Congress granted separate religion status to the Lingayat community. The move is seen to woo voters from dominant Lingayat communities in the upcoming state polls, which constitutes 17% of the total state population. BJP strongman B.S. Yediyurappa also belongs to the Lingayat community. So, the BJP is keeping its cards in response to this close to its chest. Now, United States supports and welcomes dialogue as far as problems regarding member countries is concerned. Thus, the assurance coming in from Director General of WTO, Roberto Azevedo. This comes after India and United States had a war of words over export subsidies. Speaking at the News 18 Rising India Summit last week, Commerce Minister asserted that India needs at least 8 years to phase out export subsidies. Roberto acknowledged that there are serious challenges, but expressed optimism that things can be resolved via honest conversation.
It sees some conversations that are happening in the WTO now as very welcome conversations. They support that. They are inviting other members to participate in those conversations. At the same time, the United States has been saying that they have concerns about the way that the organization functions. It feels that the world has changed significantly since its inception in 1995. And that some upgrades or reforms are in order.
When this rule was made, those countries were already about $1,000. Yeah. They were given 8 years to adjust to the new regime. Whereas when we exceed in 2017, we should also be subjected to the same regulation. We should also get 8 years. There is an ambiguity about it. Okay. So we have been raising this issue and we have been consistently raising. So one part is that we will follow the international obligation fully, but obligation also should be such which takes into consideration the reality of the situation. So if you are given it to somebody else, you must also give it to India.
Fair point. That is the point.
There are some countries, I don't want to name them because they are good friends, have exceeded this threshold limit of $1,000 per capita, and they have not been subjected to any regulation. Sure. So it should not single out India alone because we are largely growing.
Moving on, 2 weeks ago, film producers in the Tamil, Kannada, Telugu as well as the Malayalam film industry stopped releasing films, demanding a cut in digital distribution charges. A week ago, digital service distributors announced a 21% cut, which placated Telugu, Malayalam and Kannada producers, but the largest of these industries, and that's Kollywood, refuses to budge in the pursuit of a larger discount. What's the problem here and why are Tamil film producers upset? CNBC TV18's Jude Sanath breaks it down for us.
At the heart of this face-off between film producers and digital service distributors is what it always is, and that's money. Until about a fortnight ago, South Indian filmmakers were paying a sum of 27,500 rupees per film, per screen as virtual print fee or VPF, a sum that they claimed was way too high in the age of digital cinema. So 2 weeks after these South Indian filmmakers first went on strike on March 1st, Cube Cinemas, the market leader in digital film distribution in the South, announced a 20.9% discount on VPF. Almost immediately, 27,500 rupees became 21,750 rupees. And almost immediately, filmmakers in Kerala, Telangana and Karnataka were placated. Tamil film producers, on the other hand, refused to budge, claiming that the discount just wasn't quite enough. Distributors now claim there's no room for further price cuts.
They're forgetting entirely that there are incredibly high operational costs. We have a satellite bandwidth required so that we can directly support systems from a central location, as well as download DCPs and last-minute changes, which almost every single South Indian film makes after release.
Now here's where it gets interesting. Producers tell CNBC TV18 that these costs must be borne by the theatre, and their justification on the face of it seems quite valid. After all in-cinema ad revenues are shared only between a theatre and a digital service distributor. And while filmmakers are still willing to pay the handling charge component of VPF, totaling to around 4,000 rupees per film, per screen, what they say they won't pay for are costs surrounding expensive projection equipment, which they say is a theatre's lookout.
The right solution can come from the exhibition side only. So the exhibitors have to come forward and find a solution for their, they have to find the right model, to get the cost for the projectors. So it is not a producer's duty, to pay for all the other expenses also.
Quick to hit back, digital service distributors say that theatres are already paying for this by way of sharing ad revenues, and that a producer's share of the VPF is but a small percentage of the total cost. CNBC TV18 learns that the Tamil Film Producers Council is now in talks with a player from Mumbai who they say will charge far less by way of VPF. So for now, the standoff, it seems, is likely to continue. In Chennai, this is Jude Sanad.
That's some bad news for Kollywood lovers, but with that we have to wrap up this edition of What's Hot. Many thanks for watching.